The kits for the brand new Electro DPS and the very first Nodcry unit, Flins, are here. So in this video, we're going to break down everything about his kit, as well as the brand new artifact sets that are launching with 6.0, talk about how problematic they are, because of course they are, talk about all his best builds and teams, how strong he's likely to be, to help you decide if you should get him. Welcome to Jello Impact, where we build and test every single character to help you decide who you want to wish for and build. The version 5.8 banners featuring Citlali and Anefa are here. If you're planning on spending on these or any future banners, let me recommend Lootbar. I have been personally using Lootbar for all of my top-ups for over a year, and I have spent thousands of dollars on my account. They are 100% safe, using currency exchange to get you discounts on the crystals that you were going to buy anyways. They have tens of thousands of 5-star reviews and excellent customer service. And right now you can get the limited edition discount pack for an even bigger discount than normal to celebrate the launch of these banners. It is extremely easy to use. Just click the pack that you want, enter your UID as well as your region, press top up now, and you'll get your Genesis crystals in just a couple seconds. Officially minutes, but that only took a couple seconds. With lootbar.gg, you get up to 25% off, and if you join VIP, you get loads of free coupons, so you can save even more. New users will also be able to get a further 10% discount from clicking my link in the description, as well as an exclusive offer just for this channel with a $2 welcome. It is partnerships like these that will allow me to continue bringing the content that I do to you, as well as support my family of 5. And as I said, I've been using them unsponsored for over a year for all of my purchases. So whether you're buying for Genshin or for any other Hoyo games, make sure to click my link to support the channel and your wallet. Thanks again to Lootbar for sponsoring the video. All right, so Flins, he is going to be an electro polearm user focused on the electro charge reaction, exactly as expected and predicted. His normals don't do anything. They are uninfused polearm normal attacks. His skill is where the bulk of his kit comes from. After using his skill, he enters a special state and gets Electro Infusion for his normal attacks. He gains interruption resistance. We don't know exactly how much, but any amount is very useful. It changes his skill to a special version of his skill that you can use every 6 seconds. So similar to Sino, you're going to use his skill to... So similar to Sino, his skill will have an enhanced state that you'll be able to use as like a mini nuke every so often. Also kind of similar to Varessa, and you enter that special state through using his skill the first time. For his burst, it's a big AoE attack from his lantern, and if you use the full version, it does 3 instances of lunar charge damage. But if he's in his special skill state, it's different. In that case, it's a mini burst, consumes less energy, takes less energy, and deals only 1 instance of lunar charge damage, and you're going to be using this more frequently, although I don't exactly know how frequently. But you can think of it as a Varessa mini burst. It's actually very similar to Varessa's kit overall. For his passives, he is going to gain more power for having Nodcry units on his team. He also converts attack to elemental mastery, meaning that you're going to primarily build attack for him, not primarily build EM for him. So attack buffs should be better than EM buffs. Building attack should be better than building EM, but EM buffs will still be good. And he'll still end up with quite a bit of EM, meaning that he'll likely work extremely well both on Electrocharge and Hyperbloom teams. He also converts teammate Electrocharge into Lunar Charge and boosts its damage. So even if you're using a unit that normally wouldn't deal Lunar Charge damage, he will still convert it for them, just like Anefa, who does that as well. Some things to note that aren't specifically part of his kit. Anefa currently is looking to be a bigger upgrade than the upgrade for Kaniche when you get Emily, but smaller than the upgrade that you get when you get a Scoffier for Skirk. Take this with a grain of salt though, because right now we don't have his numbers, so it's hard to say exactly how much it's going to be. We also don't have Ino's numbers, but currently it's looking important, extremely important, as you'll see when we go over the artifact sets, that you do have another Nodcry unit. So depending on how good Ino is as a replacement for Anefa will sort of determine how important Anefa is to his teams. But certainly if you want his best team, it is going to include Anefa, at least at launch. There is also the possibility of getting Lauma. Maybe the Lauma version is better than the Anefa version. As I've been predicting, I'm expecting that the very best version will use both, and then there's also going to be Columbina down the road. So I wouldn't necessarily say that Anefa is going to be a must pull for his and be like a huge upgrade, but it will definitely, at least at launch, be his best team. But until we get numbers, we don't know for absolute sure. The other thing is that his weapon looks big. It increases lunar charge damage by 36%, increases crit damage by 28%, restores 12 elemental energy, and of course has a high base attack and a crit rate main stat. An absolute monstrous amount of stats, some of the largest we've ever seen. We don't know how required this is going to be for him to feel good overall. Again, we'll have to wait for his actual numbers, but it's definitely looking massive. Now for the artifact sets, as these are very integral to his kit overall. There's two sets, an on-field set and an off-field set, just like in Natlin. The two-piece is two-piece EM, so that's 80 EM. Just the same as other two pieces in the game. The 4-piece, I've kind of translated it. This is the official wording. You can screenshot it and read it if you're interested. This is the official wording, or not official, but this is the wording. It's a very wordy and includes a lot of confusing language. So I have translated it into English for you, or Razor language. The 4-piece, it only works on field. When you have 1 or 2 Nodcry units on your team, you get a 15% or 45% crit rate boost. Note, it might actually be a 30% boost to crit rate. I've had people emphatically tell me either one. 30% would make a lot more sense balance-wise. If it was 45%, first of all, that's way more, that's 5% more than the Natlin artifact set gave. On top of that, it gives 10% lunar reaction damage. And on top of that, when you have someone else using the other artifact set, you get another 10% lunar reaction damage. So 20% lunar reaction damage total, which is what you're always going to have. It makes more sense for the crit rate to be 30% as opposed to 45. Plus, when you think about his weapon, it's a crit rate main stat of 22. 45 plus 22 would be starting with 67% crit rate, which is absolutely insane. So I believe and I hope it will be 30%, but hey, the leaker did say that it was 45 specifically, so we'll just have to wait and see in a few days to be sure. For the off-field set, it is 2-piece 20% ER, so we finally have a second 2-piece ER set. So now you can run 4-piece ER. That's actually kind of cool. The 4-piece, after dealing elemental damage, with 1 or 2 Nodcry units on your team, you share 60 or 180 elemental mastery with everyone on your team. That is a massive boost, if you didn't know. So we finally have a 5-star instructors, but you have to have 2 Nodcry units on your team. By the way, this lasts 8 seconds after dealing your elemental damage. Once again, same thing as before. It's either going to be 180 or 120. Once again, 180 is crazy beans and 120 would be plenty because it also has the secondary effect, which is the same. When another unit uses the on-field artifact set, it's another 10% lunar reaction damage, so a total of 20%. So all in all, using the two sets together is 40% lunar reaction damage, up to 45% crit rate, up to 180 EM shared across all your teams. If true, and if it's actually 45 instead of 30, these are by far and away the most powerful artifact sets we've ever had. They still would be at 30% and 120, but it would be absolutely wild and crazy. It's like Moika level of power creep for artifact sets. If this is what they end up being, we'll have to wait and see. Now moving over to his teams. His premium team at launch will be Enefa, either Yelan or Farina, and either Xilonen or Sucrose or Kazuha. All of them should be relatively around the same. Unlike Enefa, Flins actually does benefit from damage percent because not all of his kit is lunar reaction damage. Unlike Enefa, where basically all of her damage comes from lunar reaction damage, it could be that when we actually see the stuff, pretty much all of it's lunar reaction damage, in which case probably Xingqiu might be better than Yelan because the damage bonus passive might be worthless, and then an Animo will definitely be better than Xilonen, or she'll have to use instructors or something like that, but the resistance shred should still be good. His free-to-play option might include Bennett or Auroron. You will absolutely 100% need Ino if you do not get Enefa, as you 1,000,000% need a second Nodcry unit. And then I have Sucrose here, although she will probably be the best option for the regular team technically, because buffing with Thrilling Tales, well, actually we'll have to wait and see. I don't know, maybe he'll need damage percent more. Maybe he'll need the resistance shred more. Maybe the multi-wave AoE stuff will matter more. Maybe the attack buff from Thrilling Tales is going to be too good. Maybe the EM buff. I don't know. It's probably honestly Sucrose is better than Xilonen the more I think about it. But there's also the AoE and the multi-wave stuff to consider. So let's just wait and see. But it's going to be something like that. And then of course I could absolutely see Lauma being a premium either replacement to Sucrose in the last slot or possibly a replacement to Enefa. I'm thinking this is going to be the real premium team once Lauma comes out. So yeah, that is what we're looking at for Flins. And of course, you know, Fischl should work somewhere here. As we get Flins numbers, I'll make more videos and talk about how strong he's looking, and we'll actually get a chance to compare. Is he stronger than Varessa, Clorand, etc.? You know, are they Skirk level? How is it going to be? Obviously, in the future, when Columbina gets added to the game, Columbina is going to change the game by being in that slot, and then, you know, we probably end up with something like this as the premium team, although it's really hard to know without knowing their kits yet. So don't take anything too crazy. Tons of changes can still happen in the beta. It is far from finalized. This is pre-beta information. Skirk got changed right before launch, so, you know, hold it with a grain of salt, but hopefully this at least gives you an idea of what his kit's going to be like. Let me know what your plans are. Subscribe if you want, and if you don't want to, that is totally fine. Just watching the video has been more than enough. Thanks so much. Bye for now.